Okay, so for people who don't know what happened, can you tell us what happened the day of the crash?
It was August 4th on a Sunday morning. I was driving from my home in Quincy, Illinois to Jefferson City, Missouri, where I had an internship. And I was on Missouri Highway 19 between Center and Perry when the accident occurred. And I didn't know quite what had happened right at the time, but I was in a big state of shock, obviously, and I didn't know if it was real life or what had happened, but the people who had been driving behind me came up to the scene of the accident and told me that it was indeed a car crash and I was trapped in my car.
What was going through your mind right after the wreck?
Well, at first I didn't really know what had happened, but then once they told me, I asked if they would call my mom and also if someone would pray out loud with me, just to hear the comforting words and to know that God was with me when I needed Him most, and just to have someone there to me to support me.
Who was the man who stepped forward to pray with you, and how did he influence the situation?
Father Patrick Dowling was the priest who came forward to pray with me, and he wasn't even supposed to be in the area at the time, so it was not a coincidence that he was there. And one of the law enforcement officials came up to the scene and asked if I would want a priest to pray with me, and of course I said yes, because I knew I needed all the prayers I could get. And he prayed with me, and then I asked him to pray for my leg, because I had 2 compound fractures, which I did not know at the time. And so it was just amazing that he was there and that he disappeared when no one saw him leave, and he wasn't in any of the pictures that they took, and could not find him for a week after the accident, but I'm so thankful he was there.
What was it like being able to meet him after the wreck?
It was very neat. He came to my home for my 20th birthday, and we got to have a reunion, and it was so nice to meet the man who was there and stepped up and just did his job as a priest. He prayed for me in my time of need, gave me comfort and kept me calm, and just allowed all the rescue workers and the paramedics to know that they were calm too during that whole time.
How has faith played a role in your experience?
Well, my faith was what got me through from the very beginning, and I called out to God when I needed Him most, and I know that God is always there for me, but there it was an unimaginable situation, and I knew that I would not have survived if I had not reached out to God in my time of need.
What have you learned, and how have you grown as a person through all this?
I've learned to always put my trust in God, because obviously this was a dire situation and I was very close to death. So I've learned to trust Him. I've always grown up knowing this, that you should put your trust in God with the little things and the big things, and even if it's something that it's small and insignificant and you don't think that, oh, God doesn't need to help me with this, I've got it. You really do, because He can take things and make them better than you could even ask or think.
Your story's been picked up by national media. So what do you want others to take away from your story?
I think the faith aspect is the biggest part of the story, because I could not have survived without it. And I asked every person who talked to me during the accident to pray out loud with me, and I think that that's the message that needs to be conveyed through all of this, because while I believe that prayer is valid, whether it's silent or spoken, I think that spoken prayers and praying out loud are really shows the world that you're not ashamed of who you are and who you are in your faith in Jesus. And I think that really tells a message of hope and encouragement through others, whether you yourself are speaking it or others are listening to it.